Hello again. Today I would like to think about something with you too, about something that our society is only too seldom aware of. What it doesn't really think about and what might instill a little humanity in each of us and thereby make us more humble and happier. What I mean is a so-called cosmic calendar, which was first presented to me in the early 80s by the astronomer Carl Sagan. If you don't know what the cosmic calendar is, it is simply a kind of mental time lapse to represent and understand an important relationship. We mentally take all the time that has elapsed since the Big Bang and pretend that only a year had passed. We do this because we can understand the year as a unit of time quite well. So we compress the almost 14 billion years that the universe already exists into 1 year. Once we've done that, we'll see that what happens and when it happened.
On January 1st that year, right at the beginning of the year, the Big Bang took place. Nothing else actually did happen in January. It just got colder, because we can imagine it gets pretty hot with every explosion. It was only in February that the first matter, which was created from energy in January, formed large clouds that suddenly ignited themselves due to their gravitational pull. Today we call these formations stars. They fuse the abundant hydrogen into helium. In March, there were so many stars that gravity pulled them together into rotating galaxies. And so it went on throughout April, May, June and July. More and more stars formed and disappeared again, because as soon as a star has used up its hydrogen, it decays again and leaves behind heavier elements, not just helium, but also all the other, even heavier elements in the periodic table when it explodes. Only in August, the 8th month of the year, did our Sun and thus also our solar system form from the stardust of previous star generations. But the development of being needed another month until the first single-cell creature had developed. In October, they contributed much to today's atmosphere as the primordial atmosphere of young planet Earth was swept away into space by the solar wind. In this way, they created the basis for even more complex structures. Then in November, development was at a point where several cells merged into one organism. However, it was not until December 18th that the first plants from the oceans conquered the land. Up to this point in time, life takes place exclusively in the water. And then at Christmas, Jurassic Park came to the cinemas. The first dinosaurs populated the earth, and that until December 29th, for a whole 6 days. On this day, 2 days before the end of year, a large asteroid crashed into the Earth and once again wiped out countless species, including all dinosaurs. This created space for the previously very small and hidden mammals. These mammals then continued to evolve on December 30th and 31st until 10 a.m. on Sylvester Day. The first human-like creature walked the earth. And of course, humans also continue to develop until, on Sylvester, 11 p.m. and 59 minutes and 51 seconds. They had developed so far that they invented the first writing. Great cultural, historical monuments such as Stonehenge were built around 7 seconds before midnight. And just 4 seconds before the turn of the year, the Christian faith came over mankind. If we now realize that the information age has only existed for less than 1 second of this 1 year of existence, then we may become aware of how small we actually are as humans. How unimportant we all are, and everything that was necessary for us to develop, because it is the new year. If we let this past year sink in, the question arises whether we really have as much under control and are as unique and superior as we usually think. Just as every single person develops an ego, in the last second of the year we felt that we were unique as humanity. So we initially lived on our disk in paradise and made it our subject, until we understood that the earth is not flat but rather a sphere, around which everything else rotates, of course. It couldn't be otherwise. After all, we as humanity were the center of all being. That was the limit of perception until we found out through observation that the sun does not revolve around the earth, but the earth revolves around the sun. Then, as observation and understanding progressed, we realized that there is no one particular sun created for us, but that our sun is just one among billions. In the meantime, we have observed that animals can also make tools, and some even recognize themselves, are aware of themselves. That all animals and plants, including our species, which of course still stands out, are connected by something, maybe a kind of unconsciousness, a complex interaction. And it is we who, in a split second, question the entire year. And now I hope that more and more people will think about this calendar so that it doesn't stop with this 1 year. Maybe you will make some New Year's resolutions through this video, in which case you'll understand how important it is to share this video. And if you don't want to miss any in the future, then subscribe to this channel. Have fun creating a possible future. I hope you and we succeed.